being regularly roachy. I'm smoking found tobacco out of a pipe. And I'm getting ready to go out and do some Uber Eats deliveries, which is not exactly the most money in the world, but I do like biking, and I do it on bike, and it's a portable means of making money. I've worked in the past as a computer programmer. I've been a painter a little bit. I've been more of a musician, playing guitar, busking in the street. These are the ways that I've made some money in different ways. I've worked for different corporations and all of that kind of stuff. I've been a baker. I've done a lot of different things. But this journey is going to mostly revolve around my ability to have remote work. I've been looking for a good remote contract a little bit. I haven't been looking fiercely or anything. I'm sure something will come up when I need it. I've been getting involved in some open source projects for computer programming as well. I'm admittedly having some trouble moving. I will be going out. I need to charge my battery. I need to make enough money to get some very basic groceries and things like that. I'm currently looking for my hat. I pretty much don't go out without a hat. I've made an exception to uncover my hair for a little bit, but as a form of sort of protest, I keep my hair covered. Right, so I'm sideways. Here, I'll do this. So I'm getting ready to go to a crabapple tree and some berry bushes, and I'm gonna gather some fruits, and that'll give me a little bit more calories to really get going here. I'm gonna maybe charge first, maybe grab some money first. I might even be able to get enough money to go to 7-Eleven and get some nuts. Now, you may be wondering why in the hell I'm doing all of this and why I live this way. It is also much like my head covering, which I found, something, but it's also a form of protest. Really, it's a very radical form of protest. I have strong opinions on how business should be done, and I think that the way that business is done today is really problematic for a lot of people, and so I think that should be changed, and thusly I live my life a certain way in an effort to change it, and that does involve actual labor. So peace for now. I may make another cut when I get to that apple orchard. I'm sure that I will. It's not really an orchard, it's a couple trees, but yeah. Apples are not a tooth safe food. An occasional apple, if your teeth are healthy, is fine. I don't know, you may have seen my other tooth content, and just know that apples are not really a tooth safe food. Unfortunately, the blackberries are a little out of season at this point. I need to be getting back to my bike, but I did find a couple of good apples. A lot of them are blighted, unfortunately, but I did find a couple of good apples, so that'll help me tithe over. I went down to the corner store at one that I usually don't go to see if they had any cashews for like $1, but unfortunately their cheapest bag was $1.99, and I have about $1.47 or something like that in my bank account, so that is a no-go at the moment. I'm almost to the park. I'm not sure if this is picking up on my phone's microphone or not, but I'm going to probably sit there. It's about 2 in the morning. I'll sit there for a few hours and let my battery charge roughly full. I've only got 2 bars on my bike right now. And then I'll probably catch some morning shifts and stuff, like delivering breakfast to people and stuff like that. I sometimes will work that. I usually work nights. Super exhausting, and I'm looking bushier than Frida Kahlo. I worked from 6 in the morning. It is now 8:57, so roughly 3 hours. In that period of time, I made roughly $35, which is not a lot of money. But I was able to spend about $20 on some groceries, and that's great. But then I got stuck behind a Tesla going down a steep hill, and I have rim brakes on my e-bike, and so I had to weave around the Tesla, and I went ahead and accelerated forward just to keep going, and I went over some rocks, and my rear tube got broken in the process. Of course, I go through crap like this all the time. That was a slime tube. I've never had one of those fail like that, but it's been really hot, and my bike was left out in the heat and then the rain, and so maybe that caused the tube to weaken. I don't know, but in any case, I'm going to have to get a new tube. I'm not going to get a slime tube. I'm going to get a cheap heavy-duty tube from Walmart. I'm going to pray it holds up for a few shifts so I can get another slime tube, and that's the best I can do. So that's my day concluded. This is one day. And by the way, regarding the new EBT work requirements, yeah, I didn't qualify. Even though I worked an average of something like 17 hours on paper in the literal app, I didn't qualify because they won't take my self-reportation of how much other stuff I have to do. I have to fix my bike all the time. That's something I have to do all the time. And again, you might be asking, why in the fuck are you doing this? And the answer is because I value my freedom to some extent, as much as I can have that, far more than I value money. I need money to flow in a very certain way, on my terms, to be able to get my goals done. And this has supplied that, relatively speaking. A W-2 job does not supply that. You can lose it at any time. Like, for the record, I used to make more per hour than I just made in that entire, like, 3-hour session. And, you know, that was in some ways easier, but in other ways it was more restrictive. Now, when I've had that in combination with, like, remote work, right, that has been ideal, but that's not always possible. And so if someone's asking you to lock yourself in a cage for a certain wage, it's not a good idea. You're going to end up tying yourself to all these obligations. You're going to end up unable to escape that, and it's a trap. I'm not looking to get trapped personally, and so that's why I do this. But boy, is it a day-by-day difficulty, let me tell you.
It's later in the evening now, and I also wanted to add that they also won't take any written attestation of my other work. Like, sometimes I pick up small programming contracts. Sometimes I'm paying other people money rather than paying myself and they're doing work. There are a lot of different ways that my money moves, but the EBT office will not take these things, and I took it up to the manager of the office, and so there's not much more to be done when I'm leaving the area so quickly. If I were staying, I would try to fight for it, but I'm not staying, and so that's like quite a bit of money that won't be in my pocket for the journey. I'll have to earn what I need as I go. And that will be more difficult, but it will be possible. Just not ideal.